Hello again, how are you? I have been putting this off all morning. Just not really feeling it today. I think because I've got the house to myself. Kelvin's down in London for the day, which means I need to go and get Ned in a bit. I need to be a bit aware of the time today. I've got plenty at the moment, but I just need to keep an eye on it. And yeah, it's lovely having the house to myself. I love it, but it does just mean that I kind of want to be taking advantage of that. And although it does mean it's really convenient for recording, I don't have to make sure my door is properly shut and, you know, all of that kind of thing. It feels like, I don't know, I want to like run around the house or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just not quite in the zone today. So if I don't quite feel like myself, then that's why. Let's do a proper intro though, especially as I have noticed there have been a few new subscribers lately, which makes me very, very happy. So in case you are one of them and you don't know who I am, my name is Jenny. I live in Harrogate in North Yorkshire in the UK with my husband Kelvin and my son Ned and our cat, who you may see at some point. She sometimes comes to visit when I'm talking. I talk far too fast and run out of breath. That's a thing. I lose my words all the time. Just expect that to happen throughout the episode. I'm sorry. I am primarily a crocheter and a spinner of yarn. And I dabble in other things as well. But those are my two main crafts. Sorry if I'm squinting. The window's behind you and it's really bright today. Might try and close the curtain in a minute. What was I saying? On that note, I am visually impaired, which impacts things in various ways. And yeah, this is my podcast. This is where I talk about everything I've been up to in crafty arenas. I usually, these days, and I will be doing this time, split the podcast into 2 episodes each time. So this is going to be focused on crochet. I'm going to have to sort the curtains out. Hang on. I will do that in a sec. This is going to be focused on the crochet side of what I do. And then the next episode, which will be up either the same day or in a couple of days' time, will be focused on spinning and a few other bits and bobs. I will be right back. That's better. I can actually look straight at you now. Hi. We're supposed to be getting new blinds very soon. And we've not had an actual delivery date yet, but very soon. So hopefully that will really, really help when I get mine. At the moment, I've rigged up a kind of screen, I guess, over the window. It's fine. It's just very bright outside and I don't do daylight. It has probably changed the light completely. So I'm sorry about that. I very rarely rely on natural light anyway because it hurts. So yes, hopefully the lighting's okay. Where was I? I think I've pretty much explained how things work, haven't I? Maybe. I can't remember now. I've completely lost the thread of what I was saying. But I shall just sort of power through and carry on. What else do I tell you in the intro? In the description underneath, down there somewhere, there will be links to where you can find me, links to any other businesses or creators that I talk about during the episode, and timestamps for the different sections of the video, so you can skip sections, rewatch sections, etc. as you wish. think that's it for the intro. I'm going to go straight into a life update again. I've done that for the last couple of podcasts and I feel like it's working well. So if you're not here for the life stuff and you just want to go straight on to crochet, then use those timestamps I mentioned and skip on. But for anyone who would like to know, since I last spoke to you, I've had my second craft market of the year. These are craft markets that I host myself here in Harrogate, and it went really, really well. It was amazing. We had over 650 people through the door, which was just, I was surprised. It didn't feel like that many. So when I worked it all out at the end of the day, it was wonderful. That's higher than the last one and higher, quite significantly higher than the average for the whole of last year. So, more importantly to me, it was just lovely. It was a really great atmosphere. It kind of came and went, we'd have a quiet moment and then we'd have a flurry of people coming through the door, and then it'd go quiet again for a little bit and then we'd get another flurry of people coming through the door. And that's quite nice because it means you get a bit of a breather in between talking to people, which for someone who's a little bit socially anxious like me, that's really, really helpful. But also it was just, when it was busy, that buzz of conversation around the room, it really lifts me up to hear everyone getting on so well and people being interested in what the vendors are selling. It's so rewarding, honestly. Also, I have a stall there too, so I'm always in the room. Obviously, if I need to step away and do something else, that's fine. It's not my main reason for being there. It's kind of I'm there anyway. I've got stuff to sell, so if there's space, I'm going to have a table. It kind of makes sense. I had so many lovely conversations with people, with the vendors themselves, because I always do. They're just, everyone who comes is lovely, but also with potential customers who stopped by and had a look at what I was doing. I always take my e-spinner these days, so I've got something to do with my hands, and it sparks so many conversations. People are so interested in it. And it was just great. So if you were there, Sue, I know you're probably watching. Hi. Thank you so much for coming. It was a great day. I'm always a bit worn out by market day. I spontaneously fell asleep at 9 o'clock on Saturday night, which never happens. I'm normally up till midnight, 1 a.m, and I was in bed by 9:30 that Saturday. But it's a good kind of exhausted. And just fulfilled, So my next one isn't for a little while now. It's on the 2nd of May. I'm hoping to do one a month after that, but it depends on what dates the venue have available. So, to be confirmed. What else is going on? I think I mentioned that I'm back at the gym. That's still going well. I haven't been very consistently over the last couple of weeks just because things keep getting in the way, but I have been going as much as I've been able to, and I weighed myself yesterday morning at the gym and I have lost 0.5 kilogram in the last couple of weeks, so that was a lovely feeling. Long may that continue. There are a lot of kilograms to go. And I'm in no rush. My aim for going is to get stronger, to get fitter, to just be healthier. Generally, they're really good at if you want to talk to them about food and lifestyle in general, then they're great for that too. So just steady improvement would be fine. I'm not looking for huge losses straight away, although that would be great, but I know it's not sustainable. I've been there, done that, and it always just comes straight back on. So slow and steady. Hopefully there will continue to be progress. And I think the only other thing to mention really about life is that my sister's hen do is coming up in the next couple of weeks. I will have been by the next time I speak to you. She's getting married in May, I think. So I'm really nervous about the hen do. Not as much about the wedding, that's fine, but about the hen do. We're going away for a weekend, staying in a big house. You know, it's not going to be wild. And there's going to be obviously my sister and me and our other sisters and my brother's girlfriend and like my mum and family members, and then like loads of my sister's friends as well. And it's just, I think if it was just a night out, I'd be feeling a lot more confident about it, but I'm going to be staying overnight in a house with people that I don't really know, and I don't like it. Yeah, quite a lot of anxiety going on about that. It'll be fine. Everyone's lovely, and if there is any drama, I can probably stay out of it. There are one or two activities that I'm not keen on. I'll take part if it's a, you know, if it's a really big deal for my sister. Of course I'll get involved, but if I can just kind of go, actually I'm just going to go sit in my room and crochet for a bit, then I will. If I can get away with it. I will definitely be taking crochet with me, let's put it that way. So yeah, I shall report back after, let you know how it went. I'm sure it will be okay. There'll be alcohol. I do not intend to get trashed because I can't anymore. It makes me so ill drinking any more than a couple of glasses. It's horrible. I don't want to ruin the weekend for me or for anybody else. So I shall take it steady. But that will, having the occasional drink might just take the edge off the nerves. Yeah, I'll let you know. Very, very quickly, I'm wearing crochet, yay! I don't always. It was a little bit chilly. I'm getting a bit warm now, so it might come off soon. This is my Whispering Pines jumper. Ta-da! I'm not going to stand up, sorry. I made this 2-3 years ago now, I think. I can't remember who the pattern's by, but I think there's a project page for it, so I'll link that below. If not, I will link the pattern. Yeah, so you can find it. And I know that the yarn is Drops Big Merino in maroon, I think, and bluebell. So yeah, it's very comfortable, very lovely. I've tweaked the sleeves a couple of times, but for the most part I just followed the pattern and it's great. Right, crochet projects. Talking of things I'm wearing, I've very, very nearly finished my Bridgette top and it's looking so good. I love it. I have almost finished the first sleeve. Wrong way, that way. No, there we go. I'm just going to hold it like this. Hello. Yeah, I've tried it on a few times now and the fit is brilliant. This sleeve, I'm literally going to add another 3 or 4 rows in the colour. And then I'll do quite a long cuff because I like a good long sleeve. I'm thinking I'm either going to do a ribbed cuff so it'll suck in over my hand and keep things cosy, or I'm going to do a slightly flared one so it'll kind of sit and then drop below my hand a bit. I haven't decided yet, we'll see. The flared one is probably easier. Because yeah, ribbing depends how I do ribbing. If I do front post back post ribbing, that's easy and I love it, but it doesn't suck in the same way. But if I do the flipping the ribbing where you work perpendicular to the rest of the project and then work into the back loops, it just takes so long. It looks great, and it does that sucky in thing, and that's lovely, but it takes such a long time. So I don't know yet. I might do a flared one. Don't know why that's the symbol for flared. It's really not, but hey, we shall see. But yes, the main news is I'm loving it. I've tried it on, it fits nicely. It's going to fit even more nicely if I keep losing weight. Yeah, progress is happening. I want to try and get it finished before I next speak to you. But it depends on what else is going on. Crochet's a bit slow at the moment because I've just been really busy with other things. I want to get more done because I've got so many things I want to make again. Most of which I'm already in the middle of and I want to get finished. This is being made using my Yarny Advent Calendar from Blue Fern Yarns from 2024, which was the Apothecary Advent. It's lovely yarn. It's on the yak base, so makes all the colours lovely and moody, which I like. Yeah, I've said all this before, but it's a really simple pattern, actually. There's a little bit of shaping around the waist, which you can't even really tell when I hold it up. It looks quite straight. But there is a little bit of shaping going on. And then there's decreases in the sleeves. Other than that, it's dead simple. It's a top-down raglan style. With a circular yoke, as you can probably tell from the way the neckline is. But yeah, once you get past the yoke and once you've split for the sleeves, it's just going round and round and round, pretty much, which is good. And yeah, using the minis from the Advent. I have to remember to go this way so you can actually see it. Using the minis from the Advent keeps it interesting. That's the colours. They're all different, and you're changing colour all the time. I have finished off the bottom, but I haven't woven in the end, and I think actually, have I? Where's the stitch marker there? Oh yes, I remember why. Yeah, I haven't woven in the end, and I'm actually going to undo that edge and add just another couple of inches to make it that little bit longer. Not too much, because I think it'll grow when I block it, because it's superwash merino, and I have heard that grows. So I like a long top. I like long sleeves. There is a limit. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I know I should have blocked my gauge swatch and all that jazz, and I didn't. So it's a bit of a gamble. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So yeah, that's that. It's coming on nicely. Hopefully I will have it done very soon. Alright, I have more progress to show you. This time on the blanket that I'm making for Kelvin. I'm almost at the end of another panel. This is the symbol for Cadian Gate, I think, from Warhammer. Don't quote me on that. I am making this for Kelvin because I love him and because he loves Warhammer. I know very little about it. I've had a lot of guidance before Kelvin knew about it from his brother and actually from Ned. And then since Christmas from Kelvin himself. So, yeah. I'm just following their instructions. But this is self-designed. No, wrong way, right. I'm going to have to move. There we go. That's better. I'm gonna, yeah. There we go. So yes, I've designed the charts for the symbols myself. I've got Oh, is this my 4th now? If it is, I've got 8 more to do. Because, yeah, it was going to be 3x3. And now it's going to be 3x4. Because the main Warhammer logo, which I'm using for like the middle of the blanket, it's too big really to split into 3 panels of the same size as these. So I was splitting into 4. So that's extra work, but it's okay. I'm actually really enjoying it. And when I get going, each panel works up pretty quickly. It's just a case of making sure I've got everything I need and having a good chunk of time to get into it, because it's not really something I can just pick up and put down. I need to be concentrating and to have the chart up so I know what I'm doing. But this one's almost done and is at a stage now where it's actually quite simple, because it's just this bit goes to a point, it's a triangle, so the green gets bigger, the white gets smaller in a fairly steady pattern. And then there's a few plain rows to finish it off, and that's it for this one. Yeah, I'm hoping to carry on making really good progress with that, actually. I'll talk a bit more about that when I get to plans in a little bit. But yeah, I'm sort of changing how I'm doing things, so hopefully I can make a bit more progress on stuff, because things keep stagnating and it's annoying me. What else was I going to say? I am mostly using Stylecraft Special DK for the blanket, with the exception so far of the dark green that you've just seen. That's Scapia's Scrumptious, which is a blend of acrylic and polyester, I think, off the top of my head. It's really, really lovely yarn. And I hadn't intended to use it. It's just, no, I can't do that on this chair. It's too tall, which is nice, but I can't rest my arm on the back. What was I saying? The green, yes, because that's a new panel. So I hadn't worked out the colours previously, like I had with the others. So I didn't have any of the Stylecraft in the right shade, and I didn't want to place an order for just one skein. So I had a rummage through my stash, and I found the Scapia's yarn. Slight issue in that it's quite a bit thinner than the Stylecraft and drapes differently, but I think once I've got a border onto that square and once it's attached to all the others, it should be fine. I hope. We shall see. Socks. Don't think I mentioned these last time at all. Didn't have much crochet to show you last time, did I? These are a pair of mostly self-designed socks that I'm working on. Where am I up to now? I am... That's not the right word. I am almost done with these, actually. I've done one heel. I need to make the other heel and then sew them in. I do... let me start again. I will explain. It will make sense. Right, first of all, the yarn that I'm using for these socks at the moment, this is what I have left over, so I can show you nicely. This is the Scarlet Peacock colourway from Madrigal Yarns. It's a fairly standard merino, nylon and stellina base, but something about it makes it feel so much plumper and softer than any other bases that I've used before. I don't know what it is, but I adore it. Can highly recommend Madrigal Yarns if you want really, really soft sock yarn. Plus, his colourways are amazing. Just putting that out there. So I'm using that for the main sock, and then the toes and heels are in scraps of yarn from Vicky Brown Designs. I say scraps, mini skeins. I don't know the colourways. This is the one that I'm using for the heel. I don't really have any left of the toe yarn, but I can show you the actual toes of the socks. There we go, that's a really good angle. That was the sock. So it was similar, but not the same. Just using up some little minis that I've got knocking around. And yeah, that's how the main yarn works up when you're using linked double crochets. US terminology. Obviously it'll work out slightly differently with different stitches. And these are mostly self-designed socks. Using a formula that was created by Susan Sands. She's written a pattern called the Quokka Socks pattern, which is, it's a formula rather than an actual pattern, but it means you can make socks any size with, I think it's written for extended single crochet, but I have discovered through trial, I was going to say trial and error, actually I haven't really made any errors yet, through trial, that you can adapt it to pretty much any stitch you want. I've done, well, I can't remember all the stitches I've tried it with now, but there's quite a few and I'm going to keep going. Yeah, it's literally you take a few measurements from your feet and do a little bit of maths and away you go. It's amazing. And yeah, I just thought I'd use linked double crochet for these ones. I've used it for the sole, I think, the bottom of the foot for another pair of socks in the past, and I really enjoyed it. I just thought I'd try it again. It makes a really dense stitch, so these are going to be really warm and hopefully really hard wearing, which is good with the yarn being softer. Yeah, and I love it. The differences I make, I do the toe differently to how Susan Sands does it. I like quite a deep toe for one, which is a thing that most patterns aren't written for. I think they tend to be quite a bit shallower. But I like, if I'm having a contrast toe, I like it to be quite deep. I basically work a flat circle until I get to the right stitch count, and then just do as many extra rows as I think is required, depending on the stitch I'm using. And then for the heels, I do very similar, but I start off with an oval. And then, yeah, work as many. It's hard to show you because I've done all the other rows. Then do as many rows as I need to make it, again, the size I need it to be. And then I will sew that into the sock with mattress stitch. Again, I've done that a few times now and it seems to work quite well. Obviously, I'm using a specific sock pattern. I was going to say that I'll do the toe and the heel as the pattern says. Not necessarily, it depends. Depends these days on the pattern and on how they've done the toe and the heel, because I like to try different things. Some methods work really well, some methods I haven't tried yet, so I want to try them out. And yeah, I just want to keep making socks. So I'm going to keep trying different things. But yeah, if I'm not sure about the toe or the heel that are in the pattern, if I'm not keen on them, then I'll just do my own. I've done enough crochet socks now that I can wing it a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, these are nearly finished. Need to do that other heel, sew them both in, and then just check the height. I might want to add a few rows. I might want to do a contrast row at the top. I don't know. Haven't decided. I might just leave them as they are. We'll see. But again, hopefully that'll be something that I can show you as a finished project next time. Okay, this is another one that I have spoken to you about before, but not for a little while. This is the jumper that I love. commercial cheap jumper that I love that got ruined with a splash of black acrylic paint. Can't talk. And so I want to add some crochet appliques to it. I was going to see if I had any pre-made ones in my stash, but I can't reach the boxes at the moment because of all the clutter that's in here, so I'm just crocheting some. I am going to have a tidy up. One day you will open one of these videos and go, oh my god, there's no clutter in the background. It might be a little way off, but it will happen. I promise, maybe. I have finally made some appliques. Not enough yet, I'm not done. And I'm still actively working on it, but it's kind of at the bottom of the pile of active whips at the moment because the weather's getting warmer now. I don't need this jumper to be in rotation. I can take my time with it. So I will dip in and out. The yarn I'm using for the appliques is Stylecraft Bambino from In My Stash. It's 100% acrylic yarn, really super soft. So I know I'll be able to still wash, like machine wash the jumper. Probably won't. I don't think I've ever put it in the dryer actually, so that's not an issue. The colourway is Clotted Cream. I did have a look at using a true white, but it was too harsh against the jumper, so this is working much better. It's a lovely kind of yellowy, creamy off-white, and yeah, it's super soft yarn. It's really, really lovely. And so far I have made 3 of these pretty little leaf shapes. This is actually a coaster pattern. I did it with a slightly thicker yarn. It'd be the perfect size for a coaster. I mean, it'd be all right now. But yeah, little leaf coasters. I can't remember the pattern details, but I will link it for you. It's a free pattern. All the ones that I'm going to use, potentially going to use, are free. But yes, I've done 3 of these. That's 1, 2, 3. Proof, and I've got 3. And they work out really quickly. Actually, I think I did all 3 of these in an hour and a half, something like that. And, you know, bearing in mind the first one, I was learning the pattern, so it took a little bit longer. But yeah, they're really cute. I'm thinking I've got 3 of those, and then I've got a few other leaf patterns I'm going to try. And I think I'll do 3 of each different leaf that I choose. And then I'm going to either surface crochet through the jumper if it'll work for me, or make a chain and then sew it to the jumper to make the stem for all the leaves. And organise my thoughts. So I'll sew the leaves to the jumper in appropriate places, and then yeah, either surface crochet or a chain that I sew on to connect the leaves and the flowers as if it's all one plant. Does that make sense? Maybe. So I don't know when I'll do more because I have got a lot on, but I will steadily chip away. It will stay in my whips because I don't want to forget about it. And really, it's quite a small project. I can just kind of, I can do a bit when I've got a spare hour, you know, because that happens so often. And there's no stress. So I'll get there. It'll come together eventually. Okay, crochet project plans. Obviously I want to carry on with everything I've just shown you. But with those, a couple of those being quite near to completion, I feel like there's space to start thinking about new things again now. There is also in my active-ish whips pile the Sacred Space blanket that I've shown you before. I haven't worked on it in a few weeks now. I do want to carry on with it, it's, you know, it's definitely going to get finished at some point. It might go back into hibernation for a while. I haven't quite decided, but we'll see. So there's that floating around in the background too. But new plans. First of all, I think I mentioned last time, Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful and Suzanne from Green Lambkin Yarn, both of whom I will of course link for you, are running a make-along for most of the rest of the year. I think it started on the 1st of March and I think it's running into November. I might have that wrong. I can't remember the exact name, but again, it'll all be in the description. But it's something like the slow and cozy festive sweater make along or something like that. The aim of it is to make a Christmas jumper for this Christmas without rushing. It's giving you the space to take time to really think about the pattern and the yarn and to have time to start it and frog a bit and start it and change your mind. Discover that actually this isn't the pattern you wanted, or the yarn isn't right, or you've gone horribly wrong and need to frog a load. You know what it's like when you're making a garment, right? And starting a Christmas jumper in October certainly doesn't work for me. I never get it finished in time if I do that, unless it's for Ned, because that's much smaller. But if it's for myself, I need a good few months to do it, especially in between all the other things that I have going on. So yeah, when I heard about this make along, I was like, yes, I am in 100%. What am I going to make? Oh my God. And it's taken me a little while to find the pattern. I had the yarn almost immediately. I knew what yarn I was going to use. Because I already had roughly a sweater's quantity in my stash. It's the Yarnsmith's Pebble Haze, which feels gorgeous. And I have got it in the colours Jet and Green Serpentine. So it's going to be very, perhaps not quite your traditional Christmas colours, but yeah, green is, right? I'm getting Slytherin vibes from it. Maybe that's just me. And I have done a swatch using the stitch pattern from the pattern I've chosen. And it's so lovely to crochet with. It feels gorgeous. And this is actually, I've done this with a 5mm hook and the gauge isn't quite right, so I'm going to size down to a 4.5. So it'll be slightly tighter than that, but it should still have a really lovely drape. Put those away so I don't lose them. And the pattern that I'm using is a paid pattern that I found on Ravelry. But you have to buy it through Etsy, I think. Called the Encompass Sweater by Kate Brown. It's not specifically a Christmas jumper, but it is, and this is why it's taken me so long to find something, because I've been very specific about what I wanted. It is a top-down sweater with a circular yoke. And there is it looks fairly simple from the pattern notes and from the project notes from other people who've made it. It should be okay. I think it's got a really good range of sizes, which is fantastic, and I should be able to add in stripes as I wish. I'm thinking at the moment, and we'll see how I go once I start making it, but I'm thinking I'm going to have a couple of stripes in the yoke. So the green will be the base colour, a couple of stripes in the yoke. The jet, I was going to say black, it's kind of grey really, will mostly be for edging. So collar, cuffs, bottom hem. But yeah, a couple of stripes in the yoke, and then maybe a couple kind of midway or towards the bottom, depending on how much green I've got left by the time I get there. Or I might do, I might need to do a bit of maths to do this. Do that thing where you start with one colour at the top and then you get so far down and you start striping it, but you do it in such a way that you have a thin stripe of the second colour and then a thick one of the main colour, and then a slightly thicker second colour and slightly thinner main colour, and then slightly thicker second and slightly thin, and like so on until it flips, so you get thick stripes of the second colour at the bottom and finish off with the second colour. Does that make sense at all? I know what I mean. I know what I mean in my head. But yeah, I don't know how well I explained that. But I need to work out how much I've got. I know how much yarn I've got. I need to work out how much I need compared to how much I've got of the green, because that will inform what I do with the grey. Yes, that's the right way around. The other thing is I'm not actually going to start that yet. I want to finish Bridgette first. The other, I'm just going to have to take my jumper off, hang on. I think the heating's come on because I'm suddenly very warm. Right, the other project I've got in mind, which again I can't start just yet, but it's in here. Little bit of a backstory. Ned's got a laundry basket in his room, but it's one of those like stiff fabric laundry baskets, so it does stand up until something lands on top of it and then it immediately squashes. And he's a 9-year-old boy. He doesn't put things neatly in his laundry basket, he just flings things across the room. So half the time you can't even see the laundry basket, it's just a mound of clothing until I go in there and rescue a load for washing. It's been bugging me for a while. He's not really bothered, but it's been bugging me. And a few months ago I said to him, look, we need to sort this out because it looks a mess. So I want to get you a solid laundry basket. I can only find plain ones. Do you want a plain one, or do you want me to keep looking and try and find a more fun one? His current one's got dinosaurs on it. Obviously he wanted a fun one. I don't know why I even asked him. Because what other answer was he going to give? He's a 9-year-old boy. Of course he wants a fun one. But I still can't find a fun, solid laundry basket. So I'm going to get a plain one, either a wicker one or just like a plastic bucket kind of style one. Wicker or something would probably be better because it would be breathable. Probably a wicker one. That's just a solid basket, either square or circular, whatever. Square might work better. Thinking out loud now. A solid laundry basket that will be plain. He can choose the colour if there are options, whatever. And then I'm going to crochet a cover for it to make it fun. There are plenty of patterns out there. Mosaic crochet patterns, tapestry crochet patterns, filet crochet patterns, patterns I can probably create myself if I really need to, that have got images, graphics, detail based on things he will like. So it's a little way off, I think. It's not going to happen straight away, but that is my plan. I haven't told him that that's my plan yet. Sorry, I just shook the camera then. I don't know how. My desk's a bit wobbly, that's probably how. But I will at some point. And then he can maybe choose the pattern as well. He can definitely choose the pattern as well. Let's make it fun for him. Yeah. Other than that, my plans are more organisational. I mentioned this briefly earlier. I think I've said before in previous episodes that I want to be a little bit more organised about how I tackle my whips. Because I've got loads of them. Of course I have. Who doesn't? I know some people don't, I know. But all us normal people have got 95,000 whips knocking around, right? So, if you want to know how many I've got, and it's probably more now, there's a video from the beginning of the year that is my whip review. Yeah, I've probably increased that number since. So, I said before that I was going to try and focus on making sure I've only got one of each type of project in my active whips at a time. I think I'm tweaking slightly what those types of projects are. So I'm going to probably always have a pair of socks on the go. I think I said that before. I'm going to always have a garment on the go, but just one. Which is why I can't start my festive make-along sweater yet, because I need to finish Bridgette first, because I want to wear it. So yeah, that's those two. Then I want to have one simple project, and that can be big, it can be small, you know, a blanket, a scarf, whatever, but something that I can just pick up, put down, whether that's scrappy or has a specific yarn attached to it, whatever. It needs to be something where I don't have to keep looking at the pattern, or I don't have to keep checking fit or sewing pieces together or whatever. I can just pick it up, work on it for a bit, put it down again if I've got a spare half hour or whatever. One really complex project. So at the moment that would be Kelvin's blanket, which I think is why Sacred Space is going to go back into hibernation. Because that's also a really complex one. I can't have two, not allowed. So yeah, that'll be my main four. So socks, garment, simple, complex. And then if there are other small projects that I want to pick up, like, I'm trying to think of an example. If I have this sudden burning desire to make a pair of wrist warmers, probably not at this time of year, but if I do, or someone's birthday is coming up, Ned's isn't too far away, and I want to make an amigurumi, that kind of thing that's only going to take a couple of days if I knuckle down and do it. The appliques for that blue jumper, that kind of qualifies. I can add that in, ask them when, because I won't hopefully be overwhelmed with all these other things that I'm trying to get done. And I'm hoping that means that I will have a bit more headspace to go, right, I've got an hour before tea, this is the project I'm going to choose and I'm going to work on it. Instead of going, oh, I don't know what to do, and then just wasting time scrolling on my phone. Which is what happens at the moment, because I go, oh, I don't know what to crochet, I don't know what to work on, I'll pick my phone up and play a game or scroll through Instagram or whatever. So we'll see how well that works. That's my plan. I don't have it written down, so it'll probably change. Even if it was written down, it'll probably change. But yeah, that's the theory. What's the time? It's 20 to 3. Okay. Well, as it happens, I'm done anyway. But yes, that does mean that I'm not going to have time to record the next one now. So I will come back either this evening or tomorrow morning to record my next episode, which, as I said at the beginning, will be focused on spinning mostly. I've got a bit of a shop update to share with you as well, and some incoming, which is all fibre, so saved it for the spinning episode. Don't think there's any yarn to show you this time. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, this one so this one will be going up soon. If you're watching this, you know it's already up. I don't need to say that. The next episode, which will be number 66, like I said, it'll either be up on the same day as this one, so you'll already be able to see it, or it'll come up in a couple of days' time. If you are subscribed to my channel and you have chosen to receive notifications, then you'll get told when it's ready for you. If not, and you really have something strongly against subscribing, then keep an eye on my Instagram profile, on my stories in particular. I will try to remember to let you know when it goes up. We shall see. I'm not all that reliable about remembering to do that, but I will try. But the best way to find out is to subscribe. It takes a second. It's absolutely free. And once you've hit subscribe, if you hit the bell icon that'll show up, you can choose to get notifications when I upload a video, which I do for everyone, and it's really, really useful. Please do remember as well to just drop a like on the video. That would be really lovely. It helps that god-awful algorithm. Means that more people get to see my beautiful face. Yeah, it just helps me grow a little bit, and I believe it also helps YouTube know what you're interested in, so it can recommend content that you might actually want to watch instead of just all the random tat that's out there. And of course, if you want to say hello in the comments, that would be wonderful. I do love having a chat, so just let me know who you are, where you're from, what you're up to, anything else you fancy mentioning. I will next be recording, I had to check, on the 1st of April. This year is zooming by, it's not fair. Yeah, I'm sure it was Christmas yesterday. And we're well into March already. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot of other things you could be watching, so the fact that you're choosing time to watch, that came out all wrong, that you're choosing to spend time watching me is just wild, to be honest, and I just love it. So thank you, really sincerely thank you, and until next time, take care.